Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about my girlfriend said she needs space. So if you're in a relationship, right, and your girlfriend tells you that she needs space or that she needs a break from the relationship, that could be another way that she words it, then the best thing that you can do is to actually give it to her. Okay? The worst thing that you can do is you can beg and plead and ask her not to do that, or trying to mend things. But if she says that she needs space, the best thing that you can do is give it to her. So when she comes up to you and she says, "Look, I need a bit of space. I think we need a bit of a break. I don't want to see you for a few weeks or something like that." And just say, "Okay, well, you just get in touch when you're ready to see me again. Take your time." Right? And if you come across like that and you say, take your time and you get in touch when you're ready, that's going to make you seem a lot more level headed and like you don't really mind so much if she wants some space. And if you do that and you allow her to have that space and you're not smothering her and you're still, trying to contact her every day, still messaging her and calling her up every day, asking how she is, if you don't do that, that's going to make her come back to you faster if she still loves you and still is interested in you. Okay? So when she says to you that she needs space and you've told her, okay, you get in touch with me when you're ready, take your time. When you've said that, you have to apply the no contact rule. You have to apply the no contact rule. You shouldn't be messaging her every single day. Because remember what she said? She said she needs space. Okay? So either what's going to happen is eventually she's going to reach out to you and you guys can start talking again. And when she does, you can ask to hang out with her. Ask her when do you want to meet up. Ask her when she wants to do that. But if you don't hear from her again and she continues to want more and more space from you, then you've got to realize that, hey, maybe this is actually ending and I haven't heard from her in a long time. She's ghosting or something like that. But the point is that if she wants that much space from you, then it's probably a good idea anyway. Okay, you want to be with someone that wants to be there. You want to be with someone who's enthusiastic about you. Okay, now of course sometimes women need space because they feel maybe like things are getting too going a bit too fast for her. Sometimes that's why a woman needs space. Another reason why is because perhaps perhaps things aren't going the way that she thought were going. Perhaps you when you started dating, things were great, but when you got into a relationship, perhaps both of you or one of you started slacking off and not putting as much effort into the relationship anymore, and she became confused about that, started to worry about that, starting to fall out of love with you, basically, essentially. Okay. So if she started to fall out of love with you, then the only way you can reattract her is by giving her what she wants, which is space. The worst thing that you can do that will make you chase her away completely is if you don't give her that space. If you're always messaging her, if you're always trying to keep in touch with her, right? You got to go into no contact when she says that she needs space, okay? And the best thing to do to make sure that you keep that door open for her to come back is to say, let me know, when you've done having your space, or let me know when you want to get back together, right? Keep that door open for her, right? Especially if you want her back. If you don't want her back and she says that she needs a break and she says that she needs space, you can say, well, I think we should have permanent space from each other. I don't want to be with you, right? If you don't want her back, right? You might as well just end it, okay? So you have to apply the no contact rule. Okay, so when she reaches out to you, if she reaches out to you after having this period of space and going into no contact, then ask her when she's free again to hang out with you. Ask her when she's available. Say, oh great, it's great to hear from you. I hope you've been well. When are you free to hang out? Right? And then you can meet up and get back together and reconcile things and sort things out. Okay? But in order for that to happen, you need to give her the space. If she wants space, you need to give her the space. Okay? So during this time, though, it can be very difficult, especially if this is someone that you really want to be with and you're really sad that you feel like you've lost your girlfriend. But you need to trust that if she says that she needs space, that maybe that's exactly what she just needs. Perhaps she just wants space. Okay? So between that time, you need to make yourself a bit stronger, because when you're applying the no contact rule on a girlfriend, it's a lot more difficult than with someone that's just broken up with you, I believe, right? Because there's a lot of it's a bit of you're in a bit of limbo period basically, because you don't know what's happening, right? Because with an ex, it's quite clear, right? They broke up with you, right, and they don't want to be with you anymore. But with a girlfriend who hasn't dumped you but says that she just needs space, can make things feel incredibly confusing. So when you're applying the no contact rule with a girlfriend, right, it can be very difficult. So you need to make sure that you keep your sanity in between now and when she reaches out to you again. Okay, and the best way that you can do that is by focusing on some other things, focusing on some other projects, getting in shape. That may help. That may help even re-attract her back. Who knows, right? Also, you may want to pick up some books to fill in your knowledge gaps about certain areas. Like perhaps you're worried, like, oh my God, maybe I messed up. Maybe she's unhappy with me. So what can I do? Well, a book that will help would be Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. That will help with communication, because sometimes the big issues that I see with unhappy couples, especially if the woman was really, really unhappy and needs space, the main issue there usually, there's either two, or it could be both. One, the guy that she's with doesn't know how to communicate with her, right? Or secondly, they're not dating each other properly anymore. You've stopped going on dates, you've stopped treating them like you did at the beginning of the relationship. And the way that you keep your girlfriend is the way that you got your girlfriend, okay? So when you first started dating, if you were hanging out a lot and you're going to do lots of different interesting things, then when they come back, that's what you need to get back to doing. But also, there's also communication, right? And perhaps you didn't know how to communicate with her properly. Perhaps you didn't feel like you understood her, and she didn't feel understood. So the best thing that you can do then is grab a book like Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus to understand how to communicate with your wife or your girlfriend. And it will also help with you understanding yourself and understanding how you really need to be communicated with, right? That book can really help with that and open your eyes to that. It's in the recommended books I leave in the description of my videos. You'll be able to find them in the description if you want to get them from there. But of course, you can always find cheap versions of these books online. You can also find them probably at your local library as well. Okay, so that's something else to keep in mind. Fill in your knowledge gaps about relationships so when they do come back, you don't make the same mistakes again. Okay, there's also a chance then as well that she's never going to come back, that she's going to want permanent space from you and that she ends things. That can also happen, unfortunately. But when these things happen, right, and your girlfriend breaks up with you after some space, then to keep your sanity, to make you feel okay, you need to realize that it's her loss, right? Because you're on a personal development channel. You're trying to figure out how to make things better. You're trying to make things work, right? You're trying to build your knowledge up so that you can solve these issues, right? And it takes a really humble person to go up online and search for ways to make themselves better, right? Because you understand that you have some knowledge gaps. You understand that you don't know everything. And a lot of people go into relationships thinking that they know everything. A lot of people go into a lot of things thinking that they know everything, when actually they only know the tip of the iceberg. But you're someone who obviously wants to dive deeper and understand and have a good relationship, right? You're someone who wants to correct things, right? So I applaud you really for actually trying to sort this problem out and to discover that. And you've got to realize that it takes a really genuine, humble person to be able to search up information like this, right? And take on board what's being said, right? So if you lose her, then it's her loss, because you're someone who clearly likes to solve their problems, someone who likes to find a solution and to work things out, okay? And if she's not willing to do that, then it's her loss. Okay, and you have to see it as her loss, because if you see it as your loss and like you've really lost someone really amazing, then that's just gonna make you feel awful about yourself. And I don't want you to feel awful about yourself. Remember that you are just as important as what she is. Okay, that doesn't mean that you lord it over her, and it doesn't mean that you say that to her or anything like that. It just means that you should know that it's her loss just as much as it may be yours, right? And perhaps maybe even it's her loss even more than what it is of your loss. Perhaps you've dodged a bullet, who knows, right? But you need to understand that, and you need to have that, and you need to believe that it's her loss, okay? Because you got to believe it's your life, so you have to believe that you're a legend, right? You have to believe that, because if you go around thinking that you're horrible, thinking that you're awful, then that's not going to be very beneficial to you. It's much more beneficial to have more of a higher self-esteem than a lower self-esteem, okay? So believe that you're a legend, believe that she's lost out, and live from that place, okay? Because it's probably true. If you're searching up a video like this and you're trying to get better at dating and relationships and things like that, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And if there's anything else you would like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Goodbye, guys.